So Dad and his hired man are working on the engine on the blue Bombardier in the shop right now. And they just finished doing a compression test, or they're about to do it. And it's standing room only in there. And
the compression is 65% of what it should be.
65%.
Yeah, so 35% less compression than what it should have.
Okay, so what is?
They're all the same.
Okay.
It should be 175.
Yeah.
And they're 115.
Okay. So what does that mean?
It means it's 35% wore out on the top.
Okay, so can you fix that, or is that a
with
overhaul?
A rebuilt engine.
Okay. So is it just this is how old it is and how much wear and tear it has? On average for this kind of engine, is that average or good or bad, or?
I don't know how old this engine is.
Okay.
But run it until it blows up and then rebuild a transmission or rebuild an engine.
Okay.
And you're in business.
So
Taking the exhaust pipe out here now so I can remove the starter.
okay. And
I don't know if you can hear me.
oh, I can hear you. But Dad's down here, and you can see they've got really not much room at all to work on. This is the Bombardier that was packed full of insulation, and there's just not much room to work down there, but they managed to get Dad and his hired man in there, and they're making it work. So now when you guys are buying a Bombardier, a lot of guys will think, oh, it works great, it's great for running around. This is one of the buyer beware moments when you guys are going to be fixing up your Bombardier. Is no matter what kind of engine you're buying your Bombardier with, chances are you're going to have to do some work on it, whether it's basic maintenance or a complete overhaul. New engine, rebuilt, that can be 10 grand quite easily.
No, get a garbage.
So
Bring that garbage can over here.
what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're getting the engine and transmission checked by a mechanic. So you have a... I'm coming right now.
Okay. If you put a nut on the exhaust pipe, like right here, look. Right here.
Yeah.
If you put a brass nut on, it'll never seize.
Okay.
Don't grab an old one off the combine and put it in there.
Okay. Dad sees a lot of combine parts in his work, and school bus parts. Again, guys, Dad is not going to travel down the highway.
What was the garbage for?
If you look in there, you'll see there was a lot of insulation in there that we don't need. Take your gloves off, reach in there, pluck her off.
They
all around the starter, and
Dad can go down the highway though if you pay him.
Back to the rat.
But he'll give you an honest opinion on what it will take to mechanic your way through around your new Bombardier purchase here. But rare is it a Bombardier that comes into the shop that's pristine unless Dad built it. So
or somebody else built it.
Yeah.
And went right through it.
Yeah.
I don't mean in that door and out that one.
Yeah.
Pull it down to bare.
So this is why Dad actually...
You know, this is the way I look at it. You look at a paint job or something, and you go and spend $25,000-$30,000, and then you got to put a rad in, and you got to put a transmission in, and a motor, and sometimes the differential. You're in the neighborhood of $20,000 plus labor.
Yeah.
So why not get one that's ready?
So when
don't save any of this shit. All in the garbage.
So Dad hates these old Mickey Mouse things here too. So this is going to get filled up. There's going to be lots of insulation in there. The Dad's seen everything in the shop. over the years, but he's gotten to the point where he doesn't want to touch the engine or transmission at all, period, because other than maybe change the oil and, let's say, change the rad fluid and plugs and that sort of thing, like that's okay. But you know, we don't really want to be responsible for an engine that blows up on you. We've worked on the engines before, and the customers come back and said, well, my engine blew up, and meanwhile all we changed was manifold gaskets or something like that. So again, this can be a $10,000 rebuild or brand new or rebuilt motor. And same thing with your transmissions. Once
motor and transmission, $10,000.
Yeah. And if you didn't have previous basic maintenance on your machine, like regular transmission or regular oil and filter changes, and
the biggest killer on these motors is the guys won't report the rad. The rad is plugged, corroded, and the block is out of an old bus or something. All the corrosion is in the bottom. You're looking for trouble.
So, over decades, Dad needed rads rebuilt. What's the place that we use down in Winnipeg? It's on Logan.
They're in Logan, haven't you?
It's
guaranteed a good job.
I think it's Winnipeg Rad or something like that. It's on Logan Avenue. Anyways, those guys are really good, and they actually have a really good turnaround, and they're reasonable on prices. We've never had a complaint about them at all, and the reason being is it's just a good shop. Now, if you're located in Manitoba, use somebody else, then go ahead, use them. But when we recore the rads, that's who we send it to, because they do good work, and they've got great turnaround, and the prices are reasonable. So Dad is going to be working on this. You've done the compression test already?
Yeah.
Are you going to do it on the other one, or are we going to...
I'm going to give you the results of this one.
Okay.
Your glasses there.
Hi, Kitty. How are you? So, yeah, they're going to be working on this for a bit. Coop is going to be digging out that insulation, and we'll get back to it.
The compression on the 300 Ford is pretty well 115 across the board, and it should be 175. So it's about 35% wore out, roughly, and 65% good.
Okay.
So drive it until it blows up.
Is the customer, can they do anything to better that other than rebuild the...
No, all we can do is put new plugs in it and the valve cover and stop the leakage.
Yeah.
And he just has to put up with low compression, because there's nothing you can do other than overhauling it.
Okay.
Mark red. Put your glasses on if you have to. Take it off. Don't drop it. I'm gonna have a cigarette. Can't even think properly.